Oh, hello, Michael. Can you please unmute your camera and microphone, and then you'll pop up on stage. Thank you.
There we go. I was camera on and unmuted. But anyways, this is the joy of virtual platforms. Well, welcome back, everyone. That was a very brief break. I hope you can have your lunch maybe in our final session here. I hope you're enjoying networking. A reminder that you can visit sponsor tables. You can click around on those tables. And also, as we head into our final session of the day, reminder that you can ask questions to our participants and panelists. You can even do private chat, something I've been using today to connect with people I haven't seen in quite a while. So I'd now like to invite Lee Kelly, the Director of Employment Accessibility Resource Network, also known as EARN. They were a partner in our original Talent Summit not too long ago, but before the pandemic. Welcome, Lee, to the stage to say a few words and introduce our Future Proofing Ottawa Economic Partners Profile Panel. That's a mouthful. Welcome, Lee Kelly.
Thank you, Michael. It is great to see so many individuals at the Talent Summit today, and I hope everyone is enjoying the content. So as mentioned, my name is Lee Kelly, and I am the Director of the Employment Accessibility Resource Network, which is a community initiative led by United Way East Ontario. Je suis la directrice partenariat en accès, information et ressources d'emploi, autrement nommée PAR, une initiative communautaire menée par Centraide Est de l'Ontario. EARN brings together in partnership employers, service providers, and other stakeholders with the goal of increasing employment opportunities for people with disabilities and promoting inclusive and accessible workplaces. We know that many of you are struggling to find the talent required to meet your current needs and to build your businesses. The labor force in Canada continues to shrink, and with the added impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, employers continue to face the challenge of recruiting and retaining talent. In our community, people with disabilities have often been overlooked, but we know that now, more than ever, employers can't afford to exclude this group of talented individuals. As an example, we know the fear of the cost of accommodating an employee with a disability can hold recruiters back. Many employers believe accommodations to be very costly. However, workplace accommodations for employees with disabilities are most of the time $500 or less, and oftentimes have no cost at all. In fact, employers who foster a culture of accommodation reap many benefits, such as improved interactions among coworkers, greater company morale, lower training costs, and increased retention. We also know that it impacts your ability to attract talent in general, with 47% of millennials taking workplace diversity and inclusion policies into consideration when deciding on a new job. We want to help you access this virtually untapped talent pool and increase your likelihood of getting the right person for the job, as well as support your accessible workplace practices. EARN has 4 strategies. Help employers to ensure that their workplaces and practices are inclusive and accessible, support service providers to create sustainable employment opportunities, promote an employment-first philosophy, and engage with the community of persons with disabilities to gain their perspective about the barriers to participating in the labor market. We often hear from employers that they need support to not only recruit, but also to develop and retain a workforce inclusive of people with disabilities. With their help and support from community members, we are launching a 4-part workshop series for employers called Shaping Accessible Employment Practices. These workshops will help employers understand the key elements to accessing this untapped talent pool and how to develop long-term strategies towards increasing participation of persons with disabilities in the workplace. This 4-part learning series can also be taken as individual workshops. You can register for these free workshops via the EARN website. If you would like to learn more and take advantage of free curated resources and recruitment supports, as well as connect and learn from other employers, please email me or visit our website. Si vous souhaitez en savoir plus et profiter de ressources et d'aides au recrutement gratuites, ainsi de vous connecter pour en apprendre d'autres employeurs, veuillez m'envoyer un courriel ou visiter notre site web. It is now my pleasure to introduce the next session. If there is one thing that gives Ottawa its competitive edge, it is our ability to work together. It is time to take this collaboration to the next level as it relates to developing a citywide talent strategy that will drive our economic growth and position our businesses for new opportunities. We have assembled some of Ottawa's key stakeholders in economic development, labor markets, and employer support. We will share information on what Ottawa is doing to support key sectors, access diverse talent, collect critical data for decision-making, and integrate talent files into our overall economic recovery and rebound plan. Please welcome Su-Ling Ching to the stage to help moderate this discussion.
Thank you, Lee. And thank you so much for all the work that you're doing with EARN. I know that we worked very closely with you in the past, and we'll look forward to continuing to do that as we make opportunities for businesses to take advantage of non-traditional labor forces. So it's my pleasure now to be hosting a panel of our economic partners. I'd like to introduce Jean Huard, who is with Training and Skills Development at the Ministry of Labor, Amanda Baresi, who is the Project Manager at Ottawa Employment Hub, Natalie MacArthur, who's the Director of Talent Strategy at Invest Ottawa, Henry Canco, who is the Director of Hire Immigrants Ottawa, and finally, Emmanuel Ray, who is with Economic Development at the City of Ottawa. So I thank you all for being here. Everyone on this panel is very well known to the Board of Trade because, as I had mentioned earlier in my comments, talent is something that is high on our agenda. And so we have been working in partnership with these fine professionals over the course of the last few years. And we're looking forward to them sharing about the work that they're doing in their individual organizations. And then we will open it up for a Q&A. So I think we're going to start with Jean today. And Jean, we've been meeting many times over these last few months. I think the first time just before the pandemic started, and we had grand plans. And since then, we have been talking about how you have been supporting businesses through this pandemic. So I'm going to turn it over to you and ask the rest of us to turn off our cameras and our mics, and then we'll see you again.
Thanks, Su-Ling. Can everyone hear me well? Yes. Perfect. I'm going to share a presentation, or try to share a presentation. Here we are. Just share. All right. So, Su-Ling, thanks for the introduction and invitation, and it's our pleasure actually to be able to showcase a little bit of the programming that we have that will support you. So, I have a short time and I have a lot to cover, so let's get started. So, I'm with the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development with the Employment and Training Division. So, it's a mouthful, but there it is. And today, I just need to be able to move this forward. Hang on a sec, folks. Maybe this one. Hang on. Just trying to move this forward. Share.
Oh, hello, Jean. If you could open up the PowerPoint, please, on your computer.
Yeah.
Do not minimize it. Come back to this platform.
Yeah.
Click Share. Then Window.
Back to the platform, share. Yep.
And then find your PowerPoint, please. Left click it and then click Share.
Click Share.
Okay, can everybody see this now? Now, Jean, if you go back into your PowerPoint, you will see full screen, then it will keep going when you move forward.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Sorry, folks. So you could still see me? We're good? So I'm with the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development in the Employment Training Division. And today I'm going to provide an overview of what the ministry is doing to address the issue of talent attraction, retention, and development. So the first thing you need to know is the slide deck will be shared. So that's the first piece. It's long, so it's designed in a way that you can actually read it and make sense of it later. So that's for you. There are links throughout the presentation at the end, and don't try to follow, just try to listen, because I'm just going to scoot right through this. All right. Not sure if this is working. I just can't get it to go forward.
Thank you for your patience, Jean. So back in the PowerPoint,
Yep.
then you would just move forward or down button to advance the slide.
I'm just going to try this one. Yep.
Oh, try that again, please. Okay, or we could share the screen for you, Jean.
Yes, please.
If you wouldn't mind doing that.
Let's just do that. It's not happening right now.
Okay, Jean, can you please click share to toggle your screen off? And then Brittany will share the screen for you. There we go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
So Brittany, if you could go over the next two. And the next one, so the overview, you can have a look at that. So that one right there. So right now, as part of the Employment Training Division, under the branding of Employment Ontario, we have a comprehensive suite of over 30 programs and services, and they're delivered by both government and third-party organizations. And they're intended especially for employers, communities, and job seekers. And next. Next slide. There are three delivery channels, but I want to focus you on the online employment services. Can you go back one? Perfect. So on the online, so there's a live chat feature. So if you have any kind of questions regarding Employment Ontario and or any of the programs that our ministry provides, actually the chat feature is a fantastic way to start. They might actually answer your question, or they might actually direct you to the right place to get a question. And then right below that, there's the Ontario Job Bank. So for employers, this is a free platform. It's also a platform that employment services use, all of our employment services use to actually look at various employers and talent they're looking for. So this is a really good place. So if you haven't done this or yet, folks, you need to actually get onto the Ontario Job Bank. Next, please. So for the first bucket of services that we provide, it's through employment services. So I'm only going to go into the first point here. So employment services are the first point of contact for job seekers and in turn for employers through their job development staff. So they can assist with your recruitment needs, and they have multiple sites in every community. So there's 140 service providers delivering on 250 sites in Ontario, and in Ottawa there's 9 sites delivering on 9 service providers delivering on 11 sites. Next one, please. So in Apprenticeship is another one of our major programs, and it's pretty much all skilled trades. So there's 140 trades in Ontario, and the ministry provides administrative services for them. So they deliver interprovincial exams, fund trade school, fund incentives for employers and apprentices. And I think this is one of the programs where if you haven't leveraged, if you're in the trade sector and you haven't leveraged incentives for employers or apprentices, this is one of the areas where you really need to focus. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the pre-apprenticeship training. It's one of the points in the program supports. This one is provided by community partners, colleges, and training delivery agents, and they prepare, they build talent to prepare job seekers ready for trade employment. Next one, please. Next slide. Okay, employment services and apprentice. Oh, one back. Yeah, we're in transformation, so we're transforming employment services and apprenticeship at the same time. So for apprenticeship, we're going to see a Crown agency take over the Ontario College of Trades, and this is really to look at a streamlined system that will help employers and clients get access. And then for the employment services, it's a 2 to 3 year again, and they will, for Ottawa, it's going to start within 2 or 3 years from now. So apprenticeship, actually, they're taking over the Ontario College of Trades as of December, and there will be some changes, significant changes in the apprenticeship and the way we deliver them, probably in 6 to 7 months. Next slide, please. Skills training. So on this one, there's a lot of programs that we fund, but I really want to focus you on the Canada Ontario Job Grant. So if you have training needs for existing or new hires, this is a cost-sharing program by the feds, the province, and the employers. If you actually need any training needs, and you could develop them in-house and have a trainer deliver those, it is definitely well worth it. And we've had hundreds of employers in the region apply for this fund. So one fund that you're very interested in. Next slide, please. Another one of our major programs is the Literacy and Basic Skills program, and really it helps adults with the communication, numeracy, interpersonal, and digital skills. It's also providing some assistance sometimes when the employer actually modernizes a little bit of their environment. It can help some of the people who are struggling with this, but you want to keep them. So the network, there's 9 providers in Ottawa as well, and they are willing and ready to give you a hand. And just below that, there's the Ontario Bridge Training Program. So this one helps highly skilled international trained immigrants by getting license and certification, or even connecting them to employment. We have a call for proposal that was out. It was assessed, and they will be announced very shortly for the new bridge training for this upcoming year. Next slide, please. The Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program. So this is managed by the Global Talent and Settlement Service, and it's responding to the needs of Ontario employers by attracting the skilled workers they need. And there's 3 ways where we can actually, where they can access the service and make an application. And they're just below the employer job offer category, where a worker already has an offer by an employer, a human capital category where they have the skills and they're looking at the type of postings that are out there where they're needed. They can apply for that, or the business category for entrepreneurs looking to start or buy a new business in Ontario. Next slide, please. For local employment projects, I'm actually going to focus on the local boards. So the local board just below. The ministry funds the local boards to identify local labor market needs and undertake activities to support workforce development. And Amanda is part of this panel, and she'll be able to talk to you a little bit more about this. So next slide, please. The Workforce Development Action Plan really is developing and making existing programs more responsive and accessible. So as the pandemic grew, there were significant changes with our programs and services. And really, it states it very clearly, supporting and strengthening talent and enhancing the economic competitiveness of Ontario. So next slide. This one's just to showcase all of the programs that are available with the ministry, and where you could see the links at the end where you could have a better look at those. Just so you know, the provider network, the Employment Service Provider Network, work with a lot of these programs, and they can provide you with some information as well. Otherwise, you call the hotline to find out more about some of the programs. Next slide, please. Skills development, special initiatives. So fresh, hot off the press, actually, this morning, the ministry announced $83 million to upskill workers and prepare job seekers. So it's a lot more than that. It's a public announcement made by the ministry, and you can see all the categories. But one of the things I want you to focus on right now is these funding opportunities are really led by community partners and stakeholders, by service providers themselves. And Sue Ling actually already put a proposal in, and she might need to look at the announcement to see if she needs to tweak it. So Sue Ling, talk to us soon, okay, about this. So definitely have a look at this. And next slide, please. So supporting employers, I just put a list down what's specific to employers and then what's specific to the communities. Have a look at a later time. And next slide. I wanted to give you an example of some of the, I know you can't see this right now, but when you're able to pick it up on yourself, you'll be able to see a couple of examples of funding opportunities that the ministry was able to provide through the various funding opportunities that we had over the past 2 years. So the YMCA in Ottawa actually months, we'll be training up to 1,100 newcomer and job seekers and ready for employment in various construction sectors. So this is going to be going during 21 and 22. And then another one, Skills Advance Ontario with the Pinecrest Queensway Community Health Centre. It's a Earn As You Learn. This project will work to address the shortages of certified personnel support workers in the Ottawa area, and they're gonna train up to 120 individuals. So this is a fantastic program. And this program, just wanted to do a short shout out to Stephen this morning. How to teach just enough so people can start working. So this Pinecrest Queensway is actually doing a modified learning. So they are already employed. They follow a little bit of school, employed. They continue school while they are employed. And then next slide. And this is the way you can contact us actually with the ministry. And the links are pretty specific, and you'll land on the pages that you need to. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And I know that through our committee, one of the things that we had identified is employers don't always know about all of the things that are available to them. And you and your team and your partners have done such a great job at making sure that we have access to this, both as businesses and community stakeholders. So I appreciate your commitment and support. And I'm going to just share that you actually are getting ready to retire. So you were so good to be here with us today, and you've been such a great supporter. I really appreciate it. So please stay on and for the Q&A afterward. But now I want to invite Amanda Barassi, who's the project manager at Ottawa Employment Hub, to present. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to attempt to share my screen. My name is Amanda Barassi, and on behalf of the entire team at Ottawa Employment Hub, I just want to thank the Ottawa Board of Trade for the opportunity to contribute. So I'm just sharing the screen now. Let's see if I can do this. So I'm hoping that everybody could see this. I actually have no other view than this big PowerPoint, so I'm going to go ahead. It goes without saying that many of us have been having big discussions about talent and recruitment and training and skills development needs. But how do we ensure that these, what local businesses are saying, is actually connected to the planning that's going on at a local and provincial level. Ottawa Employment Hub, it's actually all we focus on. So the talent issues that are being faced today are not a surprise. I think talent shortages across all sectors and within all skill levels have been on the radar for decades. But what was experienced as a result of the pandemic in 2020 and in 2021 adds a layer that was never predicted. We now have the opportunity and an obligation to get it right. And I'll tell you a little bit about who we are at Ottawa Employment Hub, what we do and why we do it, and how we fit into the big picture as a part of Ottawa's economic recovery strategy. So as John mentioned really quickly, Ottawa Employment Hub, or OEH, as we like to refer to ourselves, is one of 26 workforce planning boards in Ontario. We are funded by the Ministry of Labour, Training and Skills Development, and our focus is to gather intelligence about the supply side and the demand side of the local labour market. And by doing so, we work with employers to identify and meet their current and emerging skills needs. Also, we work very closely with service providers and training partners to help inform their planning to meet those needs. If you were asked tomorrow, what is the Ottawa Employment Hub all about? My hope is that everyone would immediately think local labor market information. We are very focused on gathering information and data to help improve the understanding of what is being experienced by business and workforce alike. and to coordinate a community response to the issues and needs. So one way of looking at it, I believe there are two types of people. I believe there are data people and there are people. And I like to think that our local board creates the opportunity for a third and much more informed type, where leaders from business, industry, service, provision, BIAs, chambers, training, really anyone and everyone who has a stake in creating a healthy labor market can have a go-to source of quality information and intelligence. And more so, and what I enjoy is have the regular opportunity to contribute to that intelligence through community collaboration. We bring the quantitative data and the qualitative experience to light by publishing and presenting monthly reports, specialized sector and population spotlights, and an annual local labor market plan. Some of the most recently published reports include the Employer One Survey Report and the Worker Impact Survey. And this brings the voices of business and job seekers forward for a more balanced perspective. OAH acts as a key resource in a number of other ways to business, community partners, and job seekers. We're currently a part of a multi-year collaboration along with 5 other Eastern Region boards to deliver the LMI Help Desk. The LMI Help Desk is a free service targeted to business and organizations, offering on-demand customized labor market reports. So these reports could be sought after by businesses or startups who seek to understand the talent pool data about specific occupations. It could be by higher institutions when they're developing programs, and by industry-specific training and specific labor market data in the before and after pandemic time to support and to identify labor market opportunities. We also receive requests from employment service providers who are working with job seekers as part of their career exploration when they're choosing their career pathway. This month alone, so for the month of September, we've received and completed 9 labor market information help desk requests. Along with this service, OEH manages an extensive directory of resources for employers through our website and by individual inquiry, including information and links to staffing support, financial incentives available, workplace training, and other resources like an HR toolkit with downloadable information that are very sought after by small business. For job seekers and students exploring pathways, we offer an updated directory of programs and services available. We also have a very new Job Hub tool that aims to be the kind of premier job search tool in Ottawa, since what that tool does on our website is it aggregates job postings from approximately 35 local job search sites, and it just makes job search more effective, allowing people to choose by skill level, occupational category, job type, even language and neighborhood. Through the regular collection and analysis of data and community and sector consultation, we engage in projects that allow us to make a critical contribution to local workforce development. And some of the most exciting initiatives we lead are part of the learning resources. And these are targeted to job seekers and students who are anticipating entering the workforce. Exploration, skills identification and development, and various sector awareness building is part of what we provide at OEH. There was discussion this morning about initiatives, for kindergarten to grade 12 students, and one of the big projects we've been a part of for a number of years and leading on is a career conversation, tools and resources. And this is where we have tools and resources targeted to parents, teachers, and trusted advisors on how to start having those conversations with youth from a very young age, to start thinking about how their skills and how their experiences can help them in the world of work. Ottawa Employment Hub is I like to think of it as a hub connecting all of the elements from labor market information collection and sharing, planning and bringing together business and community. And for many of you that do know us well, we might be better known for our Staying Connected update meetings that we host on a monthly basis, along with our Staying Connected newsletter that we publish monthly. And this brings everything together, offering an opportunity for engagement between business and service providers and community stakeholders. And these Staying Connected meetings and newsletters, we share and seek to understand what's going on in our local labor market to plan and support the collective efforts of the community. Just in closing, we are excited to and keen to contribute our expertise and experience towards an effective economic strategy in Ottawa, and thank the ministry for their ongoing support.
Amanda, fantastic. And aside from all the employer resources that you share, I know one of the things that we've learned over the last 19 months is that evidence-based decision-making is the key. And so looking for opportunities to have data to inform our decisions. So I'm just going to bring on our next speaker. Thank you, Amanda. Natalie MacArthur, who's the Director of Talent Strategy at Invest Ottawa. Natalie?
Thank you so much, Suling, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you this afternoon and to present. It's so lovely to see so many familiar faces. But for those of you who I haven't yet had the pleasure to meet, my name is Natalie MacArthur, as Suling mentioned, and I'm the Director of Talent Strategy at Invest Ottawa. For those of you maybe less familiar with Invest Ottawa, we are the lead economic development agency for Ottawa and Eastern Ontario, and we have a specific focus on knowledge-based industry growth, meaning smart mobility, connected and autonomous vehicles, software, clean tech, communications technologies, life sciences, digital media, and aerospace, defense, and security. So certainly a big mouthful, but with the knowledge-based economy in the region being the second largest employers, we are so excited about our wonderful mandate. We aim to fulfill the region's full potential as a globally recognized, innovative, future-ready city and the best place to live, work, learn, and play. So my primary focus today is to provide you with an update on how we've built our talent programming to support our ecosystem's talent capacity and how you can leverage the different opportunities that exist within these programs. Next slide, please, Brittany. Thank you. Invest Ottawa's talent strategy and programming started in January of 2019 with the amazing support from the City of Ottawa. And since then, we've had the opportunity to work with a number of key stakeholders, many of you in this room, to design, develop, execute, and iterate on a number of programs. So I'll start by providing you with a quick snapshot into the three programs that I'm going to walk you through today, and then we'll do a deeper dive in terms of each one of those components. So the first one is all about how we've been supporting our early stage startups and scale-ups with services across the talent management lifecycle. The second is the development of the Extreme Talent Accelerator to build capacity for hard-to-find specialized roles in highly sought-after positions and skills in low supply through reskilling and upskilling job seekers and incumbents via industry-led workshops. And this work has also extended to smart mobility and connected and autonomous vehicles, or CAVs, through our CAV Talent Catalyst program. Here, we were offering participants a hands-on interactive learning experience with industry leaders who are developing and employing cutting-edge technologies. So now for that deeper dive, starting with the early stages of our talent program. In January of 2019, Invest Ottawa had the pleasure of taking on a lead role to evolve the city's talent file for the knowledge-based economy and was provided with city funding to deliver a multi-year strategy designed to help Ottawa firms attract, develop, and retain the top technical and business talent required to thrive, compete, and succeed in the global market. This is, of course, all to start to combat the global war for talent that seems to be long-standing and the talent shortage that we were seeing in select business and technical roles in Ottawa. After an extensive labor market analysis in consultation and collaboration with industry, the private sector, all of our local post-secondary institutions and key community partners, we concluded the opportunity for impact with Invest Ottawa's talent program was, and will continue to be, to act as an HR team extension for client companies that need the most help. So think of those who have a small HR team or none at all and simply cannot strategically recruit for those critical hires. Our goals are also to amplify Ottawa's profile, expedite talent attraction, and support retention. So in order for us to build this service model, we hired a wonderful talent team who've been empowered to deliver dedicated client advisory in aspects like immigration and DEI strategies, to source national and international candidates, present firms with Invest Ottawa graded slates for roles supported within our program mandate, and also effective employer choice branding, marketing, and event opportunities. Our inaugural program also has a service delivery blend that's a mix of recruitment and marketing best practices. And this comes with a bespoke technology stack, including a disruptive artificial intelligence and machine learning tool to provide candidate and job intelligence in real-time labor market data trends that directly influences hiring strategies and how we look to coach and advise firms who are looking for this support mechanism. We look to constantly evaluate the tools, the technologies, the practices, the strategies to ensure that we are delivering the desired results from the market. The second one, thanks to the Ministry of Labor, Training, Skills and Development, as John mentioned, we've been working to execute a project under the Skills Advance Ontario program, which we've branded the Extreme Talent Accelerator. Here, participants are offered hands-on industry-led workshops, networking, and career development to help Ontario's workforce reskill, upskill, and seize new opportunities. The Extreme Talent Accelerator also upskills participants and provides their employers with a competitive advantage in our dynamic talent market by accelerating advancement and giving them the opportunity to provide impact in new arenas. Our delivery partners include Amazon Web Services, who are delivering workshops in cloud development and cloud architecture, Lighthouse Labs with workshops in front and back-end web development, cybersecurity, and data science. And we're just about to launch Data Analytics for HR, Intro to Web Development, and Intro to Data Analytics. All participants also have access to LinkedIn Learning, and my team are excited to support any participant and employer throughout the program. For more information on these two programs, I highly recommend you have a look at workinottawa.ca. It gives a wider overview and also some more information on who to contact. Our focus on economic recovery also includes our work with the Ontario Centre of Innovation, whereby we've worked on developing a connected and autonomous vehicle talent strategy to help the province of Ontario develop, attract, and retain the talent required to increase the global competitiveness of our automotive sector, CAV, and related industries. So we focused on smart mobility in CAVs and offered participants hands-on learning experiences with industry leaders who are developing and employing really remarkable cutting-edge technologies. These included 5G, AI, machine learning, computer vision, LiDAR, cybersecurity, and so much more. We had the opportunity to deliver virtual, hybrid, and in-person workshops at Area X.0. It's the state-of-the-art facility that offers a safe and secure environment to create, test, and demonstrate future mobility, autonomy, and connected technologies located right here in Ottawa. And of course, we had all public health guidelines firmly embedded into our operations. We enabled participants to engage and learn from tech leaders and potential employers like Accenture, Origo, Amazon Web Services, BlackBerry QNX, EasyMile, Hexagon, Autonomous Stuff, Nokia, Sensor Cortec, Tempo Analytics, and Viva Lab, and we're incredibly grateful for all of their partnership and leadership. These sessions also engaged a broad mix of participants from every walk of life with a strong focus on DEI, including new grads seeking critical first career opportunities and direct linkages to employers, members of our tech workforce who aim to reskill and upskill to advance their careers, entrepreneurs, innovators, and developers who aim to put groundbreaking tech to work, students, researchers, and professors. Next slide, please, Brittany. And some data to date since we launched these different programs. We now have over 12,500 national and internationally based candidates who have joined our talent program and expressed a desire to relocate to the city of Ottawa. We have supported over 150 knowledge-based companies through our talent and marketing services. And since July of 2019, we've facilitated 115 hires via our talent program, and a notable proportion were individuals who were directly displaced from their previous employment due to COVID-19. Through the CAV Talent Catalyst program, we worked with 10 industry partners, delivered over 15 workshops, 24 skills gaps were addressed, and over 300 participants across the province participated. We developed a novel and intentional diversity methodology for participant selection and improved the diversity levels in workshop attendees from an average of 59% diversity to 84%. We are also leveraging this as a part of our Extreme Talent Accelerator program, and will be supporting over 500 participants through industry-led workshops by March 31st, 2022. So in conclusion, we've been very productive and focused on delivering these evidence-based outcomes, lessons learned, and recommendations to inform talent strategy and future decisions, actions, and investments related to skills development for the Ottawa region. For more information, again, please visit workinottawa.ca or connect with me at any point in time, and I'll be delighted to answer any outstanding questions and or to provide more details on any one of these exciting programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Wow, that was
A mouthful.
a tremendous amount, and you're a great speaker. But I really appreciate you sharing that, and I know that you guys, your team at InvestOut is doing a tremendous amount of work in one of the most important sectors in our economic growth. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we have Henry Kanko, who is the Director of Hire Immigrants Ottawa, joining us. And Henry, I welcome you to the stage. I want to say thank you for the great work that you've done and working with us on our immigration file as well. And we turn it over to you for your presentation.
Thanks very much, Sulene, for the invitation to participate in this year's Talent Summit on the future of work. My name is Henry Akanko, Director of Hire Immigrants Ottawa. Hire Immigrants Ottawa is an initiative led by United Way East Ontario that brings together employers and key stakeholders to develop and champion solutions to barriers employers face around the integration of skilled immigrants into the Ottawa labor force. The issue of talent has been a topical one for a long time now. And prior to the pandemic, the Ottawa Board of Trades, through the annual Ottawa Business Growth Survey, had for 5 straight years highlighted access to talent as one of the top 3 business challenges in the city. And despite the impact of the pandemic, the growth survey last year showed that business continue to recognize immigrants as an important source of talent. And we all know that immigration continues to be the net new source of talent for businesses for several years now, and will continue to do so. And immigrants have always contributed to economic growth, and we know in the coming years would increasingly do so. The federal government recently announced an increase in their immigration targets, looking to bring in over 400,000 immigrants per year over the next 3 years. So we're looking at over 1.2 million individuals coming to Canada. And we know Ottawa is poised to receive a good number of these immigrants, even with pandemic measures, with border closures. We still got a good number of about 6,000 immigrants coming in last year. And with things easing up thanks to vaccinations rates going up, we hope to see more landing of immigrants. This said, there's always been challenges that employers have had around integrating immigrants into the workplace. The Ottawa Business Growth Survey, which I cited earlier on, also as part of its findings, has identified that while employers identify immigrants as an important source of talent, many of those employers and businesses who've never hired an immigrant do not see hiring immigrant as an important source of talent for their own workplaces. And so this presents a lot of concern for us working in this area. And this is one of the reasons why the work that we do with our partners is very important. Our effort is a collaborative one. We work with several stakeholder groups, key among which are the employment service organizations such as World Scales, the Vanier Community Center, OCISO, the Y, among others, to collaboratively support employers' need for talent. We've had a number of speakers highlight this, and this morning, Stephen in his keynote did address the issue of technology within the context of the future of work discourse. And while technology would play an important role in the future of work, one of the areas that we can't afford to lose sight of, and this came up again in the last panel, was the important role of people in workplaces and the critical role that employers have to play in looking at their well-being. And these are some of the things that we see as very important to the work that we do. The imperative of immigrants' contribution to the labor market has been one that we've made time and again. This is a business imperative. Tied to that is the case for a diverse workforce. And we've seen time and again through research that whenever there's been a crisis, organizations that are diverse and have taken their diversity very seriously have been able to weather this storm very well. This was evident in the last global financial crisis, and we are witnesses to the important contributions of immigrants and other marginalized groups during this pandemic. And we will continue to see the important role that well-effectively managed diverse teams are playing in the pandemic recovery. I'm going to highlight very quickly. I see we have a few minutes left to go, and we still have one more panelist to come. So I'm going to highlight very quickly some of the key areas we are focusing on within this current pandemic and to support employers through the recovery, recognizing that employers have their fair share of barriers as far as the integration of immigrants into the workplace. There are many programs as well that support individuals navigate the employment journey to find work. What we do at High Immigrants Ottawa is supporting employers build their capacity to create those opportunities to ensure that we have even playing fields that enables all qualified applicants have a fair chance at a job. And I'm going to highlight three key areas that we are working on and putting a lot of energy. One is mobilizing employer commitment to action for inclusive recovery that includes immigrants. We want to make sure that as businesses are planning for their recovery, that they are looking wide and far in their talent search to make sure that we have an equitable recovery that includes marginalized groups, including immigrants. We have other groups as well, like persons with disabilities as well as Aboriginal people. But for us at High Immigrants, our focus is on immigration. We also want to lend a lot of support to the engagements around community well-being. This we think is very important for our city through initiatives like the Buy Local campaign. When businesses procure and source goods and services locally, they support local businesses to grow, and by so doing, create more employment opportunities. So we see a direct link here for us in terms of supporting these initiatives to ensure that we are able to create more employment opportunities. The other side as well is when businesses identify the right skill sets, especially being supplied through the immigrant talent pool, they help increase productivity, and by so doing, create employment opportunities for all job seekers as well. So this is a win-win-win situation for employers, for the business community, and for immigrant job seekers as well. The other piece is around building employer capacity and knowledge to overcome barriers. Just to highlight a few, small and medium-sized enterprises are one of the most challenged when it comes to integrating immigrants into the workplace. We also know that when it comes to job creation across board, they are one of the single largest group that create jobs. And this is in part due to the capacity issues they have around HR to be able to hire into their workplaces. They tend to rely on networks for referrals to hire. Often immigrants are not part of these networks. They do not have the capacity to put in place effective diversity and inclusion strategies to create inclusive workplace environment where everyone can feel a sense of belonging. So part of our work is to provide tools and resources for all kinds of workplaces, small, medium, and large, to support them with their recruitment strategies, create inclusive hiring practices, broaden their talent reach to work with our agency partners who provide employment support services to immigrants looking for work. So everything from providing training and resources about inclusive interviewing, onboarding strategies, as well as talent management and advancement. These are very important to have the diversity of the workplace reflected at all stages of the workplace. We also do a lot of research and tool development, and including employer guides, playbooks on topics of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And a lot of these resources are available on our website as well. A third and very important component is leveraging diversity for increased productivity. How do we support employers do this? And this comes to the issues that were discussed in the last panel about the valuing of the individual and how do we make sure that employees bring their full selves and are able to effectively contribute. And just to highlight a few of some of the programs we provide to support this, cross-cultural competency workshops, fostering a culture of inclusion and belonging in the workplace. We also have coaching events that connect immigrants and job seekers outside the context of a job interview. And just in closing, I would just want to remind everybody that the imperative of having an inclusive workplace where everybody feels a sense of belonging, where people feel valued, their contributions are welcome, is one that fosters innovation and productivity. A workplace culture that cultivates engaged and happy employees is a competitive advantage. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. That's fantastic. So our last speaker today is Emmanuel Ray. He's the Economic Development Officer with the City of Ottawa, new to our fine city and working on this talent file. So he is going to present for us a short presentation because we are running just a little bit late. But we know that our work with you will be continuing through our talent summit and our recovery plan. So I will turn it over to you, Emmanuel, and then we'll probably do our Q&As another time. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, bonjour, hello. It's a pleasure to see everyone today, and it's great to see so many people joining the Talent Summit. Thank you to the Ottawa Board of Trade for hosting today's event. Great to hear all the panelists and the resources that exist and the great work that's already underway to support talent throughout the city. It's a pleasure to be here today presenting a city-led initiative. It's the Ottawa's talent strategy, which is intended to support hard-hit sectors and the broader regional economy. Currently, we have an emphasis on pandemic recovery. As we know, the City of Ottawa performs above much of the country in terms of workforce participation, unemployment, and talent, and Ottawa has experienced labor shortages for years. The pandemic has certainly exacerbated these shortages, impacting both supply and demand side of talent. Earlier this year, in February, the Mayor's Economic Roundtable met with 20 different organizations from across Ottawa to address economic challenges, and 5 priority action items to be executed in partnership with stakeholders were included as part of the city's economic recovery framework, which was presented to the city's Finance and Economic Development Committee back in April. Of those 5 priorities, one of those core priorities was the need to create a citywide talent strategy. The purposes and objectives of this strategy are ultimately to demonstrate that the city is invested. We are aiming to foster collaboration with the city's diverse ecosystem of talent and support programs. We're focused on a broader regional economy and an emphasis on pandemic recovery by exploring cross-sector initiatives that drive recovery and help businesses acquire and retain talent while getting job seekers back to work. We'll seek to identify talent gaps and challenges, identify demand and supply issues across priority sectors and residents most affected by the pandemic. Sectors such as the tourism, hospitality, retail, and healthcare sectors most impacted, as well as resident job seekers, including women, newcomers, visible minorities, persons with disabilities and barriers, and youth. Certainly, our goal is to recommend concrete steps and actions along with our partners to help Ottawa achieve its vision of becoming and being the best place to live, work, play, invest, and study. The city's role is to advance Ottawa's pandemic response strategy and economic recovery efforts by facilitating and fostering collaboration and action between Ottawa's economic partners. Our goal is to build on the great work that is already underway, and you can see as a result of today's presentations and panelists, the great work that is underway, and promote a pandemic-focused strategy that is looking at short and medium-term recommendations to support sectors and communities most impacted. And then certainly we don't want to lose track and lose sight of the longer term, which will continue with the next term of council into 2023. Our next steps, ultimately, we're be preparing a draft report over the coming months. We're soliciting further input from economic partners. For example, tomorrow, the Ottawa Local Immigration Partnership is hosting a working session to identify solutions to barriers that exist for newcomers entering and re-entering the workforce. And we'll provide further updates on the talent strategy at the Economic Rebound Roundtable taking place in November. Certainly want to thank the attendees today. Thank Sue Lang and the Ottawa Board of Trade for hosting today's important event and for your leadership and focus on talent. It's great to have the Ottawa Board of Trade and as a partner, and certainly the many organizations that are supporting talent around the city. So thank you, Sue Lang, and pass it back to you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for all the work you've done in such a short time, and we're so excited for the next roundtable and to see where we're at then. So have a great day. Thank you for being here. And I just want to invite Michael back up to the stage for closing comments.
There we are. Hey, Sue Ling.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, well, this is a great day. As I said from the outset, you've worked for weeks and months on this, so you must be very pleased to have this unfold.
Yes, for sure. And I hope our business community appreciated the content that we shared here today. And I think that we are making recordings as well, Michael, for people to use post-event. But hoping that everybody really enjoyed making connections too through our fabulous platform with Remo.
Yeah, I was going to mention 3 really quick things. One was that YouTube note. So we are recording these sessions and we'll post those, I believe, to the Ottawa Board of Trade YouTube channel. So we'll cut everything up into sessions. Also, I just wanted to point out on terms of the best places to work, there is coverage in the latest print issue of OBJ. If you can't get your hands on a print issue, go to obj.ca, scroll down, and look for one of the thumbnails at the bottom of the page. And if anyone else is interested in best places to work for next year, you can go to Best Places to Work Ottawa. I know it's not the shortest URL, but bestplacestowworkottawa.ca. Anyway, I think you're going to thank our sponsors, Sue Ling.
Well, and I think I was going to mention too, Michael, doesn't that print issue also highlight our
CEO of the year, of course. Yeah, it is in fact the CEO of the year issue. Great point.
Yeah, that's right. So I look forward to that because that's a professional in this field as well. So
Yeah, no kidding.
hopefully people
Yeah.
will take a look at that. So yes, thank you to all of our sponsors. Without you, this is impossible. Of course, we are really grateful for RBC, for Meldrum Horn, EARN, U Ottawa Co-op, Cooperative Education, Carleton University, Carleton University Sprott School of Business, ESAC Virtual Events, and Jared, you are a treasure with the troubleshooting and the getting us all through this technology. But this was I hope everybody agrees that this is a fabulous platform for us to use virtually. And then, of course, our global sponsors at Oakwood, we are very grateful for your continued support. So please be sure to visit ottawabot.ca for information of our upcoming events. And we do have our summit coming up, as we mentioned, on October the 19th, and we have some exciting speakers lined up for that as well. We do have about 13 minutes left for a final networking opportunity, so do enjoy, stay connected, and we look forward to seeing everyone again soon.
Thanks, Su Ling.
Thank you, Michael.
Take care, everyone.